really proud of our guys in the second half to do what they needed to do. Obviously a gut check game for them, and all the pressure on us. Not a whole lot of pressure on Washington State, and I thought Washington State did a really good job of competing and playing extremely hard, and that's a credit to Coach Kent and his staff. They had them playing very hard and very well prepared, and had already gotten a win here in the city, so we knew they were trying for a sweep. So we took their best shot, and we had a lot of guys do a lot of good things tonight. And obviously your senior in Norman had a terrific game, not just in his career high, but he did a lot of good things for us tonight. And I thought that was big. And what Tony did off the bench gave us a big lift. You know, he was disciplined a little bit for being late to shoot around, and I credit him for how he responded. And he responded in a very big way. So obviously a big win for us. They're not going to be easy, and Wednesday won't be any easier. So we had to get by this one to set up that last one before the season concludes. So really good win. Very proud of the guys.
These last few games, or the last few games for Norman's career in the regular season, how much have you seen him step up in these past couple games?
Well, a lot, and you know he's doing a really good job of attacking the rim. He got to the free throw line 10 times. That's the kind of activity that we got to have, and you know where the maturity with Norman is really in the area of maturing as a player and as a person, of understanding kind of your body and who you're about as a player. Last year, he would tell you, last year he was anywhere from a 22 to 26 minute guy, and we really couldn't play him much more than that because he would have lapses. And I think where he's really matured is that now he doesn't. There's no pacing to his game. He's learned how to play hard, even in a game like this where I couldn't get him a blow. He's in there for all 40 minutes, and for him to play at that level for 40 minutes. And you know, Isaac and Bryce, same kind of pressure with them that they've got to play with, playing along in a lot of minutes here late in the season, but something that, you know, these are crucial games, and you can't worry about rotations. You got to go with who you got to go with, and Norman's really raised his game, and that's what you like to have out of seniors.
It seems like things were pretty sluggish for the first 30 or so minutes. What changed, especially in that
well, I think it was pace. You know, I loved what, you know, defensively we were doing some decent things. They made some big shots. We didn't like our pace on offense. We weren't cutting at the rate we wanted to cut, or screen at the pace we wanted to screen at. But those last 10 minutes, all of a sudden, not only did we get stops and get out in transition, but I just thought we started cutting harder, and we were doing a better job of screening. And then we made some shots. You know, we had some big plays when that game was around tie. We made some big plays that got it to a 2-possession game.
When the shots weren't falling in that first half, did it seem like the team was putting pressure on itself because you guys came in as such a heavy favorite?
Well, our guys couldn't tell you who's a favorite or not. We don't. I mean, obviously we know we're ahead of Washington State, but we're not going into games looking at whether we're favored or we just played Arizona. I would assume Arizona was the favorite, but we never thought about going in as an underdog. It's about playing well and trying to get better, and it doesn't always work out that way. I thought we started the game really well. We got on a good run to start the game, and then you credit them. They did a really nice job. Now, I will say this. I think they're first or second in the league in free throw attempts per game. We hold them to 12 free throw attempts, and we have 31. So sometimes a sloppy game can look sloppy because there's a lot of free throws. And so I've got to watch tape. I thought, you know, we only had 11 turnovers in the night. That's a low turnover game again. The assists are down because we're driving it so hard. And then in the post play, you know, Tony had 2 or 3 bounces to get to the rim, so that takes assist out of there. But you know, you score 72, shoot 44. You know, you only shoot 14 threes. You get to the line 31 times. You out rebound your opponent. You know, they have more turnovers than you do. You know, there's a lot of positives with this game.
Do you bring up the stakes at all for the NCAA tournament in a game like this when maybe you guys come out?
There's not so much stakes with the tournament, but our guys know. I mean, we know what we got to do. You know, they understand what we got to do. Our resume looks better as we get wins. We can't help the scheduling. We said at the beginning of the year, 5 of our first 7 were on the road. Then we were going to have a stretch where we're going to have 5 of this next 7 at home. And where other teams are having to finish on the road, or their resume looks different because of what's happening on the road, our resume is going to change by just getting total number of wins. You know, we get this one Wednesday, we're 19-12 with the hardest schedule strength in the Pac-12. So our schedule strength, even with everybody that we lost, we've played the toughest schedule in the Pac-12 non-league. So you know, that's hard. That's hard on a young team, and yet they got a chance to finish this thing at 19-12 and be, you know, if we win Wednesday, we're 11-7. That's one game back from where we were last year. You know, so to finish that strong would be, it'd be terrific for this team. And it's going to take a lot of work because we know we're going to get USC's best shot. It's a rival game, so it makes a lot of fun. It's senior night. So, you know, there's a lot of pressures to all that. You know, that's not easy to do. And, you know, hopefully our guys will continue to play well because I think we're going through a stretch here where we're playing pretty good basketball.
Coach, going into the Pac-12 tournament, what would you point at that you guys need to improve on?
I'm not sure on that. You know, when we get to that point, that's 10 days away. When we get to that point, we'll worry about that. We've got one game. Our whole focus is going to be on this one game to try to solidify 4th place in the league and get this thing to 11-7 and 19-12. That's improving in all areas. You know, our shot selection's better. We're moving the ball better. We're not turning it over. And when you get in a tournament play, whether it's a conference tournament like last year when we won it, we shot the ball well. We took care of the ball and we guarded. It's going to be the same this year. Different bodies, different faces, different teams, but when you've got to win 3 games in 3 days, if that's what we're fortunate enough to get into, you've got to shoot the ball well, you got to defend, you got to take care of the basketball. It's going to be those same things. So when we get to that point, we'll really concentrate on it, but we got to get to that point.